Welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. If you remember last time, the episode ended with me falling in the little hole that the magma cube pushed me into over there, and I lost all of my items, but I went out and I got some more nether brick and got a load of stone again so we can continue building, and this is what I've come up with. This will be the walls on the sides of our room. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing in the corner because the shapes don't quite match up, and I think this is 39 or 30. No, it wouldn't be an odd number, would it? It's 38 blocks across, and that made it difficult to divide up the number exactly, so I had to subtract 2 from either side, and then that gave us 34, or was it 36? I can't remember. I've done all of the maths anyway. So basically what I'm trying to say is we've got these nice square segments, and then in the corner we're going to have to come up with something different, because you can see there's 3 extra blocks here, and it's the same on the other end as well. In fact, if the width was 36, I think then maybe I took 3 off of each end, and then we have 6 lots of 5 in the middle here, which makes 30. I think that's right, that sounds about right. So yeah, just gone with stone. I think all of the colour in the room is going to be in the floor, so I decided not to do too much with the walls. So we've just gone for a bit of shape with the stone bricks and the way they're laid out. And like on the ceiling, we have this 9 stone blocks here, except we've got a redstone lamp for lighting on the ceiling, and we don't really need to worry too much about light levels or anything like that. So I think the light that these ones up here emit is just about right, because I was thinking of copying that and having another redstone lamp on the wall here. So what I'm thinking is this will probably go down another block, so we can have some stone across the bottom there, so it'll be a full square like it is on the ceiling, and then the floor will start directly below that. So the problem that I'm having at the moment is over here with the lava lake. It's going to be really grindy work, and I need to try a few things out. But I prepared all of the area around here. You can see going all the way across there. It's all ready to start construction of this that we have on the wall. And just over this side there is a lava lake behind there, which could cause some problem when we lay down the wall on the floor. And that's the main thing I'm worried about at the moment. All of the construction over here is going to be grindy and difficult because of the lava lake, but it's doable. It's just what happens when I place down the wall, because it's going to be going all the way up to the edge, and there'll be lava a few blocks behind the netherrack. So when we get to that, I'm going to have to do a lot of testing to make sure that we do this correct. So what I'm worried about at the moment is ghasts, and you can see I'm probably going to have to extend this out a fair few blocks and fill all of this in with netherrack. It's just going to be a real difficult task, and over here I'm going to be exposed to the whole of the nether. It's a strange line going across there, and I'm pretty sure that ghasts are going to be firing at me a lot while I'm trying to do that. But anyway, we should head back over to the overworld, because I made a small little change over there. The small change that I made was just to move these chests down by 1 block, and I don't know what on earth I was thinking, but when I was building it I was like, right, we'll put the chests here, we'll have some blocks with buttons on them above them, and I didn't even think that, of course, you can't open a chest with a solid block above it. So thanks for pointing that out. I've now moved these down 1 block, and I did have purple wool at the back here, but it was just too much purple, and more of it is exposed naturally now that we can see behind the chest a little bit more. So I did try something else out, and this doesn't really suit this place because it makes the chest dark, but the shape would have been nice, because from above you see less of the stone bricks at the back, but because of that lighting glitch it makes it all dark. But I do like that idea. Maybe I'll find a way to use that in the future, but there we go. So what I want to do this episode is continue work with the project we have here in the Nether, but logically the next thing to do would be to finish this side over here and finish building these walls, and that's kind of long and grindy work, especially with the lava lake that we have over here. I think it's going to take me a long time to get that bit finished, so this is probably going to be a long-term project, but there's still lots of things we can do in the meantime. And I've been thinking about the storage, and how, because we're building it up here in the pyramid, it's within a confined space, so that means there's a limited amount of storage that we can actually have. And although this will probably be plenty, let's say in the future down the line I might need more storage, I was thinking that we could actually just build some corridors over the end here. We could put some entrances at the side here, so it's not going to be a problem if we run out of storage space, and the kind of storage that would be anyway would just be dirt and cobblestone and materials like that. So I do want to start work on building that storage, but there's a thing that we can do over here as well, which is to just finish this side of the wall and maybe build some of the floor. So I've been thinking about the sizes of the portals, and they're going to be 5 blocks. I'm not going to build them the cheap way like this. I'm going to put the corners in because I think that will just make it look better. So those 5 blocks would be from the stone bricks we have here. This would be the top of the portal, 3 down the side, and then the 2 at the bottom. So below the stone bricks at the bottom we're going to have glass, so the obsidian of the portals will rest directly on the glass, and I might put some half slabs either side so you can walk up and into it without jumping, but then that might take away from the view of what's below it, so I'm not too sure about that, but we could start building segments of it. So the top of the portal would just be under this block here, and then somewhere around there is where I want to start the storage room. So maybe we'll leave a bit like this, or perhaps just have some half slabs here. I'm really not too sure, but next to those portals we'll have stairs leading up. So yeah, there's a lot to play around with basically is what I'm saying. So we'll start off by building a segment of the floor, see what that looks like, maybe build a mock-up nether portal so we get a good idea of what's going to be happening. So I need to dig this down 1 block lower. We're going to have the glass on this level here, and then that means that I need a particular type of block to be on the edge, and I wasn't sure whether to do stone bricks because then it would make this look like it's too wide when it's 1 at the top. I could even actually have the same trim there and just put a row of stone bricks going across like that. In fact, I probably will do that, and then I can put stone bricks here and actually it would match the top. Okay, so that's solved. We'll put stone bricks going across like that, and it will match the top, and then we can have glass on this level. So it's the level below that we're going to be putting our blocks in. And as you can see, we've got a bit of a lava lake over here. There's more of it on the side. In fact, I think it's a little bit higher over here. There you go, you can see a bit of it there. So this is going to be a problem because I wanted to build a lot of this out of wool, and I was actually going around collecting some wool, and I was looking at the colour of the yellow wool, and where the sheep were was right next to sand, and I just thought, well, why not use sand as the texture for our map instead of yellow wool, since it doesn't look that good. So I got some silk touch grass as well to use, some dirt to spread it to, because we can't keep dirt near grass, so it depends what colours we actually need for the mini-map, but it's going to throw blue wool out of the question. And the thing with blue wool is that it's mostly going to be in the corners because the island's in the centre and it's kind of circular, so we're going to have a lot of blue wool to place down in the corners. Now over there is where we've got 1 lava lake, another one over in that corner, and now we've got one over in this one. So I'm really unsure what to do now because it's going to be so difficult to condition this. I don't know much about lava and how it sets fire to things, but I think the lava has to be out of range of the wall by 3 or 4 blocks. So that's going down to the left and right as well, and that's a hell of a lot of work. So I think what I'm going to do is build a small section of this so we can see what it looks like. We use grass and sand for now, maybe a bit of blue wool because it's probably far away enough, but I really need a solution for that and I just don't have any ideas at the moment. There we go, I think that looks great. I'm really pleased with this idea. Thank you to all of you who suggested this. I think this is going to look great when it's finished, which will probably take a hell of a long time, but I like projects like that you know, take a lot of work. And looking at this, I'm just thinking that there's probably not going to be too much better than the blue wool, and it looks good. I was thinking that maybe we'd need the light blue wool, and possibly we could just have that around the edges of the shorelines to show that it's shallow water. And maybe if I'd done a little bit more exploring, I'd find some shallow water areas maybe out in the ocean, and we can mark them down in here as well. So I've also been thinking about how do we mark other things on the island, like maybe the forests will use the green wool, so we can highlight them and possibly put down like a block that's completely different from what you'd actually see. So for example a red one to indicate that something's there. Maybe we'll have a portal next to it, and on the portal I have a sign saying this goes to the XP farm, or something along those lines, some way to indicate what's actually down there as well as the natural terrain. So yeah, I'm still worried about the whole lava and the wall thing, but hopefully we'll find a solution to that. And also, while I was working in here, you might find this a little bit funny, I was over one side digging away, and then a ghast started firing at me, and I was over in this corner. I thought, you know, it's firing at me from the outside, and I turned around, and to my amazement a ghast had actually spawned right inside here over on this side of the room. And that's something else I've got to think about when doing all the storage and building this place, is making it spawn proof to a degree, and mobs can't spawn on glass, so all of this will be safe when it's finished, which is really good. Speak of the devil, a ghast just spawned, and oh god, it's been firing over there as well. It's probably destroyed some of that glass. Let's kill it quickly. Oh, is that a ghast here? No. Gunpowder. Anyway. Ah, yeah, it destroyed some of my glass. So I'm working on this corner over here, trying to fill it in and get it ready, and I measured out the dimensions in this corner, so this is where the next wall will go. And if you're wondering why we have this ridge, it's because of the way I've done the wall over there. You don't actually need to remove these blocks, that just saves a little bit overall. So anyway, what I've been doing is drinking the fire resistance potions and then swimming around in the lava. So I actually just died. My fire resistance potion ran out and I'd been out of the lava for some time, but as you can see I'm on fire now, and I was still on fire then, and I've got a feeling that if you're in the lava you stay on fire for a very long time, so when this fire resistance potion runs out I'll need to go and grab another one or head back to the overworld and jump in some water. But anyway, this is actually going to be quite simple, I think. I've just been jumping in the water like this, sorry, the lava, and bringing the blocks across like that. There's also a load of magma cubes in the lava. I imagine once they make their way in it's difficult to get back out again, so I've had a few of them pester me. But anyway, I fill it in like this, and you can see this is real easy work. And I can hear a magma cube down there. And then I dig this part away that we've just done, and then you can see there's lava under here. And then we just do the same thing again. I got a feeling there isn't any more blocks. Yeah, you can see here, look, there's no more blocks leading down. So we can just swim around like this, place a block there. It's a little difficult to see when you come under here. And then do that all the way across the other side. And like in the water, when you bob up and down, you can just about see, like for a slight flicker there, it becomes invisible. And you can actually see the bottom of the Nether as well, which is interesting. So yeah, I do this, jump in, and then all I've got to do now is fill this in and replace it. So I thought this was going to be like really tedious work, but so far it's been fairly easy. It's just time consuming, and I haven't been interrupted by any ghasts yet, and I can see them being a real pain, because if one of them were to fire at me now and blow this bit up here, then all of the lava would start leaking over, and that's the only worry that I've got. But other than that, this shouldn't actually take me too long to do. I decided to take a break from swimming around in lava, and I want to work on the corner over here. So we have a little bit of a problem. It's not really, I've just got to design something. So we're going to have the same walls on all four sides of the room, and then in the corner we're not going to have a square shape to work with, so we're going to have to come up with something different in this corner. So what I'm going to do is build 2 or 3 of these segments on this side in the correct position, and then we can start work on the corner. But this one over here, I've realised, is going to be different, because over here is how we actually get to our Nether hub if we want to go back to the main Nether hub or to the spawn village. So as well as building the corner design, I'm also going to have to think about that, because we need to create an entrance to this room, and that's actually going to be the only entrance. And there is a possibility that I could do the same thing I had before and actually make this a tunnel going underneath that leads to the centre and then pops up between all of the Nether portals. That might be a better idea, but anyway, I'm going to work on the corner and see what it looks like. So here's the corner, and I'm pleased with how this turned out. I was a little worried that these would overlap and we wouldn't get a nice meeting here in the middle, but actually it worked out quite well. And yeah, we could do something different in this corner now with this space here. I was looking at it and I was thinking it might be a good idea to break up the stone and stone bricks that we have at the moment. So maybe we could have lava coming down, or that would actually be a bad idea because that would set our wall on fire. And I've also been placing wool around here and watching how it burns. And what actually happens is the block next to it gets set on fire, or at least as far as I've observed, and then the wall block itself disappears a moment later. But anyway, we'll break up the theme in the corner here and put something different just in this part of the room, and I've continued clearing it out as well. Doesn't really take too long when you've got TNT, it's just a bit of explosives, then you collect all the blocks and dig it all back up again. So I'm not sure what I want to do next, I'll have a think, but I'm going to leave this corner as it is for the moment because that's the only entrance that we have. So When we get around to building another one of these corners, that's when I'll work on breaking it up and putting something different here. Okay, I think what's best to do next is to move these nether portals down, because this one we don't even need at the moment, so we can get rid of that. That's where the old strip mine entrance used to be. We also need to build a new entrance like we had here, a tunnel coming up from underneath, so moving that down would be a good idea. We also know what level we're building them at because we've made this bit over here, so it'll be one block above the glass here, and then when they're moved down we'll be able to start work on the storage area up above. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. Turns out we've got a bit of a problem over here in the corner. Now this thing here, I don't know what you call that, let's call it a beam. This beam is 1 block away from the corner, and over on the other side it's 2 blocks away, I think. Yeah, 2 blocks away. And that's really annoying because I'm so sure I counted all of this and got it all right when I was measuring it up. But what I did is I went to to a nether fortress, and I got loads of nether bricks so I could finish the ring that goes around the bottom here, all the way around the side. So I finished doing that, and yeah, it's off by 1 block on this side, which is really annoying. But what I was thinking is I've got to be a little less OCD when playing this game, because it'd be an absolute nightmare to tear out all of what I've done so far, and considering how much work there is to do in this project already, we'll just have this corner like it is now, and the one on the opposite side should be the same, but I'll double check and make sure when we build the walls on the other side that that's going to happen. So we can have something different in this corner. I said I'd break it up from the stone bricks and stone, and we'll do that in the opposite corner, and then these two are going to be different in size anyway, so I'll find something different to do in these 2 corners, and then we've just got 2 different types of corners, so it shouldn't look too bad. And you can see I've moved down the nether portals, and it got me thinking about the storage again. We're going to have a limited space above them to work with, and earlier I think I said about making some corridors on each of these panels and putting storage areas behind them. Well, what I want to do for the entrance to this place is have a tunnel. I think that's the best way to do it, and we're actually on Y27 at the moment, so there's plenty of space below us to work with, and in that tunnel we can actually have some storage rooms down there as well, so if we ever run out of space up above we can use the tunnel below to expand our storage. I've now finished building the corner in the other side of the room, and this is how I didn't want it to look on the other side. The smooth stone meets up here in the middle, and I wanted the border like we got on the other side, but it doesn't look too bad, and I don't think it's really going to be that noticeable even from a distance, and it's such a small difference between the 2 corners that I don't think it's really going to matter at all. And these walls are very grey and bland, but I think it's going to look good when we're a couple of blocks up and the floor isn't all red, because I think this is really going to bring some life into the room, having all these different colours on the floor, and then the grey will be there to not really distract from that, so most of your attention will be focusing on the colours that we have in the middle of the room, and we're going to have lots of blues, yellow and green, and yeah, I think this is going to look nice and colourful when it's finished. Okay, you can see I've done a lot more down the side here, and over in this corner I've had a lot of trouble because of the lava lake, and I died again and lost all of my items. It was really annoying because I just resupplied and got a load of stone bricks on me which I lost, and what makes it even more annoying still is that it was a block that I covered. You see, I dig at the side like this and you see there's lava there, and then I place a block, and the server lagged and it rejected the block that I placed on the client or something along those lines, because I was placing blocks, then I turned around, started doing some more over this side, and the lava had flown out behind me without me realising. But it was my mistake really, because normally when I'm working with lava I take the fire potions, but that time I didn't. I've been filling in the lava lakes so far block by block with the netherrack, and it's slow and painful, and as I said it killed me before, and I was thinking there's got to be an easier way to do this, and there's a really obvious one as well, which is to use sand. Now I don't want to build some cheaty sand machines over here because the ghasts are probably going to go and blow it up, but we could just use some sand and drop it in manually to fill in the lake at this side over here. And now that I've built the corner, you can actually see where it is that we're going to need to terraform. So I might just build a shell that goes down to the lava level, and the netherrack doesn't actually go all the way to the bottom or anything like that. But yeah, we've got to make this bit look natural because it comes out, you know, quite a way. You can see some of the stone is exposed down there as well, and I really need to cover these up at some point as well. So let's go back down. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I've been reading the comments on the previous video, and a really good suggestion was to put the portals under the map. Now, having them above the map kind of made sense at first because you wanted to see where the portals were on the map and where you could go to. So we could just have some sort of indicator up here at the surface and a hole leading down with a ladder to the nether portal underneath, and I'm not sure what would look best, but I do think that the portals are going to block the overall view that we have of the map, so that might be something I'll do in the future. But the best thing to do is to just leave it for now, build all of the map first so we can actually see what it looks like with the nether portals. And then that got me thinking about the view that we have of the map, because standing at this level it's not going to be the best of views. You want to look at a map from above, so when we build the storage area up above, I think I'm going to build the floor for that out of glass, and as well as stopping mobs spawning on it, it will also mean we can look down from above at the storage and get an overhead view of the map, and of course that would look a lot better if we didn't have these big portals in the way distorting the view. I've built a couple more panels over this side, and you can see I've been using sand to fill in the lava lakes, and this made a huge difference. I'm actually a little annoyed at myself for not thinking of using this earlier because it saved me so much time. But there you go. And while I was working on the roof here, I was standing on top of a netherrack pillar, and I heard a ghast shooting at me, and I looked over there and I could see one off in the distance, and it looked like it was flying out of view. So I was about to turn around and start working on this again when out of nowhere a ghast just came straight out of the lava lake and started firing at me through the hole. It was really creepy. But I've had a lot of that working in here. I can't seem to get away from them. They're always spawning behind me when I'm trying to build. But anyway, that's all we're going to have time for this episode. You can see I've been, working like crazy to get this done. It's a little bit boring really, it's just repetitive building, but there's a lot that needs to be done. And I think next episode we're going to start work on some of the more interesting stuff, like maybe the storage area. But two things I definitely want to do straight away in the next episode is, first of all, figure out how lava spreads so that we can start placing down some of the wall, or doing whatever it is we need to do to prevent this place from being set on fire. And also I want to figure out how we're going to build the mini-map, because I can take the one that I've got in the overworld and find a way to convert it into the size of this room, and then we can start placing down the grass and sand and other blocks in the middle straight away. And yeah, that'll be a really nice project to start on, because I can't wait to see how that will look. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.